Thank you for taking your time about seeing this video. So a little bit about me before we are starting to learning something. I'm a founder of Astronomer.io. It's a e-learning platform for people that want to take simulations before they're going up for the CNCF certifications, the community of the cloud native. You can visit on Astronomer.io. That would be in the description too. I am a Kubernetes specialist. I spend all of my time to Kubernetes, and I see myself as a very big cloud native enthusiast. And then I love to learn out of what I'm doing. So in this case, I'm a public speaker. I'm speaking on different meetups and conferences. That's a little about me, and I think it's time to go into the content of this videos. Hello there and welcome for this video about the microservice vulnerabilities. I will show how you can working and manage with the Kubernetes secrets in the environment way, environment variables, and how you can mount it as a file inside your pod to be more secure. This is my documentation, so if you don't want to see the video, you can just follow the link in the description and then jump directly to the documentation. But the documentation here doesn't help you to memorize inside the exam. So what I will show you in this video will be how you can use the documentation to find what you need when you are in the CKS exam, so you don't get in panic if some questions related to this are pop up. So I think that's what you need for now. And remember, there's a link here to the secret documentation, and that's look like this. And I will return back for that in a moment. So let's go for the terminal a little bit. So I promise you to show how we can do it in the documentation way. So first we want to say copy kubectl, create the secret. And it should be generic, and we call it secret1, and we want to the output in the YAML format because that's what we want. And then we say dry run client. That's mean we are running this secret creating the YAML and return it back to the client. The client will be us. So let's call this for the YAML1. And we can see here we have secret1 and everything here is fine. So create one more. It should be secret2. And still the client dry run. And this one. So now we have two secrets. You can see here secret1 and secret2. And that's everything we need. So that's nice. Now let's open the first one, the secret1. I just use nano, so secret1 will be here, and now we want to put in the username and the password we want to do. And let's say we don't know anything about how to do it. You can use the documentation here we have, and I will recommend you to use string data because then you don't need to use the base 64. And you can just scrolling down here and copy this snippet into your code, and going back and going down here and say this is the secret we want. So right now we have the username and the password, and what we say here is the username is admin. And our password is top secret. Save it and copy this one because we need it inside the secret2. And inside here we just copy that, paste it inside, and we just say ABC 1 2 3, and we say this should be a token. As normal, this will be 64 base, and of course we can do that, but it doesn't matter when we apply that to the cluster because base 64 and the raw string is not encrypted at all. So it doesn't matter the way you do it if you get a question about this way. But of course, if it's something that want to make your secret more secure, I will recommend you to mount it because, as I say, the 64 base is not secure enough. Now we want to apply this. So we just say the first one and the second one is here, and kubectl get secrets, and we can see we have 2 now. So just to confirm it's working, so it's based on description. Describe secrets, secret 1. Describe here. You can see it's working. I have password and byte, and we have it again a token. And if you want to confirm it even more, you want to see the YAML output, we can just say YAML, and then we see the YAML here. And you can see the metadata here, and it's base 64. So that means if your string data you have the manifest is data, string data, and it's a raw one, and you apply it, then Kubernetes will automatically convert this to a base 64, and that's a way where you can just be faster to type it when you are in an exam pressure. So the next step we want to prepare now, I'll just clean this up, will be to creating a 2-pod manifest, and then apply the environment to the first one, and then mount it as a file in the second pod, so you can see the difference. I will explain what the difference will be and why you should do the one over the other. So let's start to say kubectl run demo secret 1. This will be the first pod, and let's say it should be nginx, and we want to say the output as a dry run because we don't want to apply it yet. Should be equal with the client, and then pod, whoops, not prod, but pod secret 1 YAML. And then let's see the second one and rename it here. So we have 2 pods. Let's open the first one, pod secret 1. And inside here you have different places, and we don't need the resources. And we don't need this one, the DNS policy, because we just need the default one, and the same here with restart policy. Just remove that. In the exam, you don't need to do that. But in here, I will just show you how you do it, just for fun. Let's go back for the documentation a little bit. We can say environment. So this is the construction for the refer to the defined container environment variable secret data. That's what you open in a new window because that's another area in the documentation. As you can see here, you can just create the secret here, but we already have the secret. So what we want to do here, it's the environment variable. We want to copy that into the pod, and we know that's image here and environment. Secret username should be, the secret should be secret 1, and we have the username, and we need one more, and paste it in, and we can call it password. And down here we can say password. Save it, kubectl, apply, pod secret 1, and let's see about it's created. It's created, so get pods, it's pending, and it's taking a little bit, and then this will be up and going. So let's say, you can say this one, and you can see the the environment, we just need to scroll a little bit up. Volume, secret, container environments. And that's what you can see here. So the secrets username and password here will be inside it, and it's working right now, so that's cool. Let's see how it's going. It's still pending. So it's a trend something. So that's because my Ethereum doesn't work yet, but it could be because I'm working inside a VM and something are not starting up. So what I did now, I will just pause the video and get it fixing and let this container up and running. So just give me a couple of minutes. As you can see, now it's running. So let's see the describe. We can just say describe. And it should be the pod, and it's a demo secret 1. And we can see everything here. So let's just see. You can see the environment may set to the key, username, secret, and optional false. So in this case, the environment will be inside the environment. So that's mean you technically can read it. You can read it. And the next step will be to mount that one as a value. But yeah, that's the next step we want to do. So let's continue to the mount of the secret. And why we do this is because when you have it in the environment variable, the process listen inside the container, and the secrets will be easy to dump out in the debogs and the crash dumps. So I will not recommend to use the environment variables if you can avoid that. I will recommend to mount the secrets as a file, because then it's will limit the exposures of how to get access to this file. It will require you have access directly to the node or inside the pod. So I will recommend to use the mount way to protect your secrets if it's possible. So let's go clean up here and say nano pod 2 and open it up here. And again, I will clean up this unused resources, because it should avoid some disturbing noise. But in the exam, you can just leave it, it's okay, but it's more to make my example here more clean, so it's easier for you to follow. So let's go in for the browser and close this environment variable. Let's go in for the mount and just say mount. And what we're going to do here is mounting the secret, and I think there's some easier one. Yes, this one. Going for mount 1, and we can just copy this one in and change to the terminal again and paste it in. As you can see, we have it here, and the name should be something like secret 2, and secrets should be secret 2, read only, yes, and the secret name should be secret 2, and the volume should be secret 2. So it depends on how you want to name this convention, but this is how that's how I want to do it. So say kubectl apply, and then the pod secret 2, and should be created. So let's see about it's creating a little bit faster then. Get pod and see it's running now. So how it's working now, it's a kubectl get pod demo 2 and YAML, and you can see everything here, it's mounted. So it's just taking the secret in here, and yeah, you can see the name is secret 2 and everything is fine. It's mounting volume here, and let's see about it's doing anything else. So in this case, you can see what's inside, and it's requiring you're going inside And we can do this by using exit and then just sh. Let's see about base. No. And we are inside here. So let's see, we want to do etc secrets and see what's inside. Cat secrets. And now cat secret 2, and it's saying this, it's nothing inside, so something is wrong here, but it's not the idea. My idea is you just see it's working and how it's mounted, but we can do this, let's say etc secret 2 and see what's you have terminated. So it's something it's wrong here. Token, maybe, yes, token, sorry. So the secret will be mounted inside a folder called secrets, and then secret 2, and then it will use every single file inside your document. So if you are using let's see the demo secret here. So if we just apply token, if we have username and password, this will be separated files inside this subfile. So that's another way to secure your secrets and make it readable. So if someone is logged in and escaped from the pod and hooked up to something, it will not just read all the environment variable, because you can decide to say this secret can only be read by in the boot up time of the application, and then you change the user or something like that. So the mount file is more secure than the environment variable, because the environment variables could be loaded from the pod itself and be in a description, so it could be put inside some debug sessions you're not thinking it's good to do. And one of the next videos will be how you can make this mounted secrets encrypted at rest, but that's not something I will do inside this video, because I think you need to learn how to work with the secrets in the environment variables first, and then how you can mount it after, because that will help you a lot in the CKS exam. So I think that's everything for now, and thank you so much for listening to me in this video, and I really hope you want to make this video and give it a like. If you like it, please share it, and if you have some comments below I don't have touched, please make a comment below. I will try to answer you as fast as I can. Thank you so much, and hope to see you in the next video.